Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's have one more big round of applause for all our dignitaries who have joined with us to grace this occasion, the beautiful event. Let's now start this special event. This is me, Sneha, and I'm going to be your host today for this event. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you all here for the celebration of the International Day for Biological Diversity 2022. The slogan for this year's event is Building a Shared Future for All Life. Hashtag for nature. Let's make the change and let's bring the change together. On this auspicious day, let's start this event with good energy of round applause. Can we have one good amount of energy with big round applause, ladies and gentlemen? Well, thank you so much. Now moving forward, let's raise together for Tamil Thai Valthu. I request everybody to let's raise for Tamil Thai Valthu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிது தெக்கணமும் அதிர் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறைநுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனகே தமிழனகே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
So before any auspicious start, it's our Indian culture to begin by lighting the lamp. Light is the symbol of brightness, prosperity, and happiness. To make this morning a blessed one, let's grace this occasion with the lighting of the lamp. May I now invite the following dignitaries to join us for lighting the lamp. Shri Bhupender Yadav, our Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Shri Ashwini Kumar Choube, Honorable Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Thiru Siva V. Mayanathan, Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change, Youth Welfare and Sports Development, Government of Tamil Nadu. Mrs. Leena Nandan, Secretary of MOEFCC. Mrs. Supriya Sau, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Tamil Nadu. Can we have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Well, thank you all the dignitaries for gracing the occasion and the beautiful start. We shall now formally welcome the dignitaries on the dais. Now I request Chairman Dr. V.B. Mathur to welcome our first dignitary on the stage, Shri Bhupender Yadav, Honorable Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Now I request Secretary Justin Mohan to welcome our next dignitary on stage, Shri Ashwini Kumar Choube, Honorable Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Now again, I would ask Chairman Dr. V.B. Mathur to welcome our next dignitary on stage, Thiru Siva V. Mayanathan, Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change, Youth Welfare and Sports Development, Government of Tamil Nadu. Now, again, I would ask Secretary Justin Mohan to welcome our next dignitary, Mrs. Leena Nandan, Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Now again, I would ask Chairman Dr. V.B. Mathur to welcome our next dignitary, Mrs. Supriya Sahu, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Tamil Nadu. Now I would like to ask Secretary Justin Mohan to welcome our next dignitary, Shri Naresh Pal Gangwar, Additional Secretary, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Lastly, I would like to ask Chairman Dr. V.B. Mathur to welcome our next dignitary, Shri G. Natarajan, Post Manager General, India Post, Tamil Nadu. Well, I would like to thank all our dignitaries for joining with us today. Thank you so much. May I now invite Dr. V.B. Mathur, Chairperson, National Biodiversity Authority, to deliver welcome address.
Welcome to this inaugural event of the International Day for Biological Diversity 2022. On behalf of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the National Biodiversity Authority, and on my own behalf, it is both my pleasant duty as well as a privilege to welcome you all today at this inaugural event for the International Day on Biological Diversity 2022. At the outset, I would like to welcome Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji, Honorable Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and also for Labour and Employment, Government of India, for agreeing to be with us today despite his extremely busy schedule and work commitments. Those of you who have seen his 2-day program in Chennai, every minute of it is occupied. Sir, thank you very much for spending your time with us today. I would also like to welcome Shri Ashwani Kumar Chaubey ji, the Honorable Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and also for Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Government of India, for his august presence amongst us today. Thank you very much, sir, for finding time for us. I would now like to welcome Thiru Siva Mayanathan ji, the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change, Youth Welfare, and Sports Development. A lot of responsibilities on you, sir, today. Thank you very much for being with us and gracing us on this occasion. I take this opportunity to welcome Madam Leena Nandan, Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, for not only for her participation in this event, but for guiding us with the planning and conduct of this very important event, as you would know, has been going on for months together. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your valuable advice. I would welcome Mrs. Supriya Sahu, the Additional Chief Secretary, Environment, Climate Change and Forest Department, Government of Tamil Nadu, for her presence today. She has been the local host for us and has provided very valuable inputs in planning of this event. Thank you, ma'am, for all your support, all your cooperation. I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Naresh Prasad Gangwar, the very dynamic Additional Secretary in our ministry in Delhi, who was constantly in touch, advising us for the very, very minute arrangements that you see today. So thank you very much, sir, for all your guidance, cooperation, and support. Would also like to welcome Madam Rita Khanna. She is the advisor in our ministry. She was looking behind, guiding and advising both the teams in Delhi and in NBA. So thank you very much for your support. We have in this hall esteemed presence of a large number of institutions, and it is so pleasing to see the hall almost full. The rest of the people are in the exhibition area. So I take this opportunity to welcome individuals and institutions. Especially, I would like to welcome the 29 chairpersons and member secretaries of the state biodiversity boards and Union Territory Biodiversity Council, who have traveled from all over the country in this hot and humid weather to be with us. So thank you, my chairpersons and member secretaries, for being with us and for guiding us through. I take this opportunity to welcome a large number of senior officials of the Ministry of Environment and Forest, the National Tiger Conservation Authority, the Integrated Regional Office at Chennai, the officers of the Tamil Nadu Forest Department, the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board for their presence today. As you would have gathered, we have a very special group of people today in our audience, and these are over 300 members of the biodiversity management committees all over Tamil Nadu. I would request you to give them a big hand, because this is perhaps maybe for the first time that they have got this opportunity. We saw their inputs very recently in the exhibition over there. So I thank the Department of Rural Development and the State Biodiversity Board for facilitating their presence over here. Now, we also have the recipients of the India Biodiversity Awards. These awards were declared in 2021, but as you would know, because of the COVID, we could not celebrate the event, we could not felicitate them. So we took this opportunity today of inviting them. These 10 award winners are there. You will see a small event in a while from now, and we would like our biodiversity champions to be seen by everyone, because this India Biodiversity Awards, which have been doing for last 4 cycles now, has been instrumental in raising the awareness both of individuals and of institutions, and also now of the corporates. So thank you very much for coming over here. We do have our international agencies represented here, the UNDP, the GIZ, civil society organizations are there, NGOs are there, WWF, MS Swaminathan Foundation, the Nature Conservancy, and we saw the exhibits put up by Keystone Foundations also. Today in the program, we also have a representative of the industry. These are the industries which are dealing with biological resource. And it is very important for us to recognize them, to partner them. And that is why we thought that we should invite them today. Although a small number of them have been able to come, we will have an interactive sessions later in the program with the leaders of that. And finally, I would say, this event, when we started planning and celebrating, we went up with an idea that can we make this event more memorable? Today, definitely we will celebrate, the world is celebrating, and that is where we interacted with the India Post. And we have an officer on the dais, and with their help and with our design team, as we would see in a while from now, we are going to release a very special cover which will signify how important this event is for our country. And the entire world is looking at India now, that how India is planning and celebrating this event. And then comes the student and youth. And I'm very pleased to say that the colleges and universities in Chennai, they responded to our request. And a very large number of students, which you see, are present here. And I am very sure that this event today would be a very memorable event for them, and it would be a game changer and a learning experience. And obviously, no event can take place or should take place without press and media. And we saw the glimpse of that 2 days back. On the advice of the ministry, we attended a meeting with the Press Information Bureau. They guided us, and today we have this huge coverage. And whatever we will say, do, and celebrate here today in this room, I am very sure that they are going to take it to the rest of the country, rest of the world on that. This year's theme of the International Day for Biodiversity is building a shared future for all. Now, this theme is very important. It conveys a very, very important meaning in just 5 words. That biodiversity is the foundation upon which we build back better. Based on this theme, as I was explaining, the NBA design team, led by a very young intern, has been able to devise a logo, which you will see in a while. And this logo conveys the integration of nature, the culture, and the traditional knowledge systems. These are the three pillars on which the biological diversity management governance in our country stands. And finally, I would say that while 22nd of May is celebrated as an International Day for Biodiversity the world over, the entire world is celebrating. And in our own country, our state boards in 28 states are also celebrating. But I have pleasure in saying that this event today that we are in is perhaps the biggest and the largest in the entire world. Nowhere, we were talking to CBD Secretariat, they said that the scale at which India is doing it is phenomenal. No other country in the world has done it. So I would like to thank our Honorable Minister. When I approached him a few weeks back, he said that yes, we must celebrate, gave a large number of ideas that how the nature of the celebration is. So we are extremely grateful to you, sir. We have been able to implement, I think, all the ideas. If they are missing, we will take it from you today and see to it that this celebration does not end in the events today, but for the year round, we should be able to do that. So with these words, I welcome you once again and thank you for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mathur, for sharing your valuable insights with us. I would now like to invite Mrs. Leena Nandan, Secretary of MOEFCs, to deliver a special address.
Honorable Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Honorable Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Honorable Minister, Environment and Climate from the Government of Tamil Nadu. My colleagues from the central government and state government and NBA who are on the dais. Representatives of the state biodiversity boards, members of the biodiversity management committees, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the International Biodiversity Day is no doubt being marked, recognized, and celebrated in various countries across the world. But for India, it has special relevance and meaning. We acknowledge the contribution that India makes to the biodiversity of the world in terms of the species on land, sea, and air. And we also acknowledge our commitment and ownership towards protecting and conserving the biodiversity, and towards making sure that the tangible and intangible benefits of this rich heritage of biodiversity is passed on by us as our legacy to future generations. On this occasion, it is a matter of real pleasure that we are acknowledging the efforts through the Biodiversity Awards, the efforts that have been made by so many individuals from across the country. And we have recipients from places like Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Tripura, Rajasthan, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and we are very happy to felicitate them. But there will be so many unseen, unknown champions of biodiversity across the country who we hope will be equally encouraged by these awards to continue contributing in their own way towards the conservation of our rich biolegacy. Yesterday, the minister was also very, very inspirational in his address when he interacted with the wetland management committees, because we had a conference on wetlands, a workshop where again the participation of various states was in place, civil society members, and we felicitated the wetland mitras, individuals and groups who have come forward and who have done remarkable work, inspirational work in the way that they are conserving the wetlands. Ladies and gentlemen, while we sit together in this hall, it is very important for us to think of the ways that we can forge partnerships and collaborations. And that is why it is so important to also mainstream the efforts that are being done in some countries, in some states, by some boards, and to learn from these best practices, to learn how the access benefit sharing is flowing to certain biodiversity management committees, so that we can ensure that these benefits similarly go to other BMCs across the country. Because it is the BMCs, it is their ownership of our legacy and our heritage that will really make all the difference. So through the interaction in the course of the day, through the mainstreaming of efforts of the private sector, because there is an arrangement which is already there in place since 2014, in terms of collaboration with the private sector, we should be able to take forward further steps in being able to harmonize and sustain the efforts that we need to get the benefits, the tangible benefits from our bioresources, but also to be equally committed towards conserving and protecting them. So through this felicitation activities that are organized as part of this morning's event and the collaborations that will emerge in the course of the day, we hope that this will be a very important step. This will be a milestone that in 2022, we really committed to making a difference towards the biodiversity of the country. Thank you for your participation, and I wish this workshop and I wish that this effort that we have initiated through the joint partnership between the central and state governments and the biodiversity boards and biodiversity management committees will be taken forward in a very big way. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today, also for wonderful address. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the India Biodiversity Awards. The India Biodiversity Awards are a joint initiative of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, UNDP India and NBA. They serve to recognize the efforts and contributions of an individual, institution and the range of stakeholders towards conservation of biodiversity. Since 2012, 4 cycles of awards have been given. The award for 5th cycle were announced in 2021 but could not be given on account of COVID-19 pandemic. May I now invite you to see a special video on India Biodiversity Awards 2021. Can we have the AV, please? Can we have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. May I now invite the winners to kindly come on to the stage for a photo opportunity with our dignitaries. Request all the winners to kindly come on to the stage for a quick photo opportunity with all our dignitaries. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have one round of applause for all the winners here? Well, congratulations to all the winners and thanks once again to all our dignitaries. Request all the winners to kindly go back and take your seats. Moving ahead, we're going to have a look at the presentation of prizes to the winners of 3 national level competitions, International Day for Biological Diversity 2022. As a part of IDB 2022 celebrations, NBL launched 3 national level competitions with an aim to create awareness about environment protection and biodiversity conservation in the society. The nationwide competitions were organized for different age groups. A total of 146 entries were received, wherein 808 for slogan writing, 623 for poster making, and 215 for sustainable lifestyle practices competitions. These entries were evaluated by an independent jury. Let's take a look at the winners. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a bigger round of applause to our lovely participants, especially the kids who took great efforts and participated in this initiative. Well, thank you. Moving ahead, we are now going to do a release of select publications. On this occasion, NBA has brought out 4 publications to celebrate in this event with us. Let's take a look at the first publication, India Naturally Publication, a joint initiative of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the National Biodiversity Authority, and the United Nations Development Programme. The 4th edition of the India Naturally Publication celebrates the India Biodiversity Awards. I would request our Honorable Union Minister to do the honor and release a first publication. And request all the ladies and gentlemen to give it a round of applause and keep applauding. Here we're releasing the first publication, which is India Naturally Publication. Let's take a look at this second publication, Report Asia Waterbird Census 2022. Asian Waterbird Census is one of the longest running citizen science biodiversity monitoring programs in India. This year, NBA joined hands with Asian Waterbirds Count, nationally coordinated by Wetlands International South Asia and Bombay Natural History Society to upscale the role of SBB and BMCs in wetlands. In wetlands conservation and integrate AWC data in PBR and state-level conservation action plans. I would now request again our Honorable Union Minister to do the honor and release second publication. Can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Come on. Let's take a look at the third publication, Criteria and Guidelines for Identifying Other Effective Area-Based Conservation Measures in India. Other effective area-based conservation measures are a new conservation approach separate from protected areas where effective conservation of biodiversity is achieved mainly as byproduct of other management objectives. The publication provides the criteria and guidelines developed by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, National Biodiversity Authority of India, and United Nations Development Programme to identify OECMs in India. I would now request again our Honorable Union Minister to do the honor and release third publication. Let's take a look at the fourth publication, OECM's Compendium, a joint publication by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, National Biodiversity Authority of India, and United Nations Development Programme. It captures a range of cases studies identified across India as potential OECMs, acting as conservation sentinels of our country. I would request again our Honorable Union Minister to do the honor and release a fourth publication. One last, can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? These were the 4 publications that have been released today. Thank you so much, all our dignitaries, for joining us. Now, next on our agenda is the launch of the 4th cycle of the Biodiversity Samrakshan Internship Program, which is grooming the next generation is essential for securing biodiversity. In this regard, the NBA and UNDP conceived the Biodiversity Samrakshan Internship Program to motivate and train young minds towards natural resource management and to groom them towards conservation of nature. The interns of this program are all selected through an all India selection process. I have the pleasure to request Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Bhupender Yadav, to launch the 4th cycle by pressing the remote. Thank you so much. It's time now to look at the launch of special cover as part of the IDB 2022 celebrations. As part of the IDB 2022 celebration, a special cover has been released in this event today. A special logo has been designed for the special cover, which signifies the integration of natural and cultural heritage and its linkages with traditional values system. Let's take a look at the levy. Can we have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Well, thank you. May I now invite the Postmaster General, India Post, to present the special cover to the Honorable Union Minister for release. So here's, ladies and gentlemen, we have the special cover which has been released. Thank you so much. We would now have a look at the release of video documentary on biodiversity conservation, Sentinels of India. India has recently developed a 14-category classification organized in 3 major subgroups: terrestrial, water bodies, and marine, for identifying OECMs. We have a short video documentary on OECMs. Please have a look.
Biodiversity, which provides essential ecosystem services to the planet and contributes to human well-being, is threatened by pollution, overexploitation of natural resources, introduction of invasive species, and habitat loss. This leads to global warming, food insecurity, water scarcity, and loss of livelihoods. Countries globally are committing to conserve 30% of our planet by the year 2030, also called the 30 by 30 target. To achieve this target, India has joined the High Ambition Coalition for Planet and People. We also need to look beyond the traditional protected areas like national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. This is where OECMs come in, other effective area-based conservation measures. OECMs are areas managed primarily for other purposes that also contribute to biodiversity and habitat conservation. Here, ecosystems, habitats and wildlife corridors are conserved by individuals, institutions, communities, private sector and government. Agro-biodiversity promotion leads to food and nutritional security. And fragmented ecosystems in developed landscapes are connected and made resilient against threats. India's 22% terrestrial and 5% coastal and marine protected areas can be augmented by OECMs. They will also help create an additional carbon sink of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of CO2 equivalent through additional forest and tree cover by 2030. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, supported by the National Biodiversity Authority and the United Nations Development Programme, has taken several key steps to recognize and promote OECMs in India. These 14 categories cover a diverse range of terrestrial, water bodies, and marine ecosystems in India, including unique agricultural systems, biodiversity parks, industrial estates, lakes and ponds, riverine water bodies, and important coastal biodiversity areas. You too can become a biodiversity champion and help identify and manage the conservation sentinels, the OECMs. OECMs are the way forward for achieving global priorities and national targets on biodiversity conservation while recognizing the stellar efforts being played by both communities and corporates towards conservation in the country.
I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. This initiative will strengthen biodiversity conservation. May I now invite Thirusiva V. Mayanathan, Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change, Youth Welfare and Sports Development, Government of Tamil Nadu, to address the gathering.
Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change and Labour and Employment, Minister Sri Bhupendra Yadav, Honorable Minister Sri Ashwin Kumar Choubey, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, Srimati Leena Nandan, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, Sri Naresh Paul Kangwar, Chairperson, National Biodiversity, Chennai, Sri Dr. Vinod Pari Mathur, Additional Chief Secretary to Government of Tamil Nadu, Tirumati Supriya Saku, all respected dignitaries present here, officials from Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate and Climate Change, Government of India, state government officials, Biodiversity 2021 awardees, prize winners, ladies and gentlemen, First of all, I extend a warm welcome to all the guests to Tamil Nadu and also thank the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India for selecting Chennai for celebrations of the International Day for Biodiversity 2020-22. It is a matter of immense pleasure and privilege to be here this morning in the midst of a group of very eminent people assembled here. Biodiversity remains the answer to several sustainable development challenges, from nature-based solutions to climate, health issues, food and water security, and sustainable livelihoods. Biodiversity is the foundation upon which we can build back better. The International Day for Biological Diversity is being celebrated globally on 22nd May 2022 to generate awareness among the citizens and stakeholders on the importance and need for the conservation of biological diversity. The slogan adopted by the Secretariat of the Convention of Biological Diversity for International Day for Biological Diversity 2022 is building a shared future for all life. The Tamil Nadu state has 7 agroclimatic zones with fertile lands which contribute for the rich biodiversity of flora and fauna, with high rates of endemism. The state is well known for myriad ethnographical records concerning plants, animals, and cultural practices associated with bioresources. The vegetation is broadly classified into 4 as forest, grasslands, riparian, and aquatic vegetation. The Western Ghats in the state is one of the global biodiversity hotspot with the distinctive biogeographic region. The region has significant levels of biodiversity. It is one of the 3 mega centers of endemism in India. The India is also endowed with unique coastline hosting rich mangroves and associated forest types. Western Ghats of Tamil Nadu contributed to the vast richness of biodiversity in the state. The state is native to about 2,000 species of wild, including marine species. Tamil Nadu ranked first among all the states in the country in angiosperm diversity. The Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu exudes sincerity of purpose and passion when it comes to biodiversity, forest and wildlife. The Chief Minister emphasized the traditions and the legacy we have inherited, which teaches a compassion toward all living beings and boundless love for nature. In the Tamil Nadu Biodiversity Board is implementing the provisions of Biological Diversity Act 2002, the Biological Diversity Rules 2004, the Tamil Nadu Biological Diversity Rules 2017, and guidelines on access to biological resources and associated knowledge and benefits sharing regulations 2014. As per date, Biodiversity Management Committee have been constituted by 13,607 local bodies. One of the main functions of Biological Management Committee is to prepare, maintain, and validate a people's biodiversity register, which is in inventory of biological resources available in the territory of the PMC. People's of biodiversity registers have been prepared for all PMC constituted by currently their updation, the validation in process. I take the pleasure to all. I am happy to announce that our Honorable Chief Minister has allotted a prime piece of land to the National Biodiversity Authority within Anna University campus. We will sign a MOU very soon and our Honorable CM with Honorable Union Minister shall lay the foundation stone. இப்படி நடைபெறுகின்ற இந்த உன்னதமான விழாவில் பல்லுயிர் பாதுகாப்பு, அந்த உயிரின பன்மையத்தை பாதுகாக்கும் என்பது மிக மிக முக்கியமானது. காரணம், இந்த கொடுத்த 4 புத்தகங்களை இங்கே வெளியிட்டார்கள். அதிலே ஒரு புத்தகத்தின் ஒரு பக்கத்தில் நோ பேட் நோ லைஃப் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. பறவை இல்லைன்னா மனிதனே வாழ்க்கையே இல்லைன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. பறவைகள் தான் நமக்கு தேவையான அத்தனையும் உணவு தரக்கூடிய அந்த எல்லா வேலையும் செய்கிறது. ஏதாவது ஒரு பகுதியில் ஏதாவது ஒன்று பாதிக்கப்பட்டால் ஒட்டுமொத்த மனித இயல்பு உலக வாழ்க்கையே பாதிக்கப்படும் என்கின்ற அந்த உன்னத தத்துவத்தில் இந்த நாள் சர்வதேச உயிர் பன்மைய நாள் என்பது மிக மிக முக்கியமானது. குறிப்பாக பேரிடர் காலங்களில் அதிகமாக பாதிக்கப்படுவது இந்த பல்லுயிர்கள் தான். 2018 கஜா புயல் தாக்கப்பட்டது. அப்போ எங்கள் தொகுதி முழுவதுமாக பாதிக்கப்பட்ட இடங்களில் பார்க்கின்ற பொழுது மரம் செடி கொடிகள் மட்டுமல்ல, மனிதர்கள் மட்டுமல்ல, அவர்களுடைய இல்லங்கள் வீடுகள் மட்டுமல்ல, நிறைய இடங்களில் ஆடு மாடுகள், அதே போல் பறவைகள், பல்வேறு உயிரினங்கள் ஆங்காங்கே உயிரிழந்து அந்த செத்து கிடக்கின்ற காட்சியை பார்க்கின்ற பொழுது மனதே வேதனை அடைந்தது. அப்படிப்பட்ட மனிதன் வாழ்வதற்கு எல்லாம் தரக்கூடிய அந்த பல்லுயிரை பாதுகாப்புகின்ற பணிகளை நாம் மேற்கொள்ள வேண்டும். இந்த நாளில் உறுதியேற்றுக் கொள்ள வேண்டும். மனிதன் மட்டும் வாழ்வதற்காக இந்த உலகம் படைக்கப்படவில்லை, பல்லுயிரும் வாழ்வதற்காக படைக்கப்பட்டது. அந்த பல்லுயிரில் பாதுகாத்து நாமும் வாழ்வோம், இந்த இயற்கையும் வாழ வைப்போம் என்று சொல்லி இந்த விழாவில் பங்கெடுத்த அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி கூறி விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Nandri sir, and thank you very much sir.